What have you seen from Joel so far at linebacker?
Number one, he works really hard off the field, so that's obviously an indication of how he trains in a weight room and all those things. So he's in really good shape, which helps him quite a bit going into learning a new position. Number two, he studies a lot in the film room, so he does a super job there. He's a natural leader, so obviously this is a position where he has to continue to be a great leader for us. And really the thing with Joel, he's learning naturally, but the biggest part is he is now on the end that's not dictating the tempo and the pace and all those things. So that's really his biggest adjustment. He's doing a really good job of all the things he needs to do. He's a really good football player, regardless of whether he's on the offensive side or the defensive side. So that certainly helps him a lot. And he's a smart guy, so he's done a really good job so
How
far.
raw to the position was he when you first got him?
Really, and I think that the most interesting part of it is just the fundamental position, the natural things that a guy has to tackle now rather than never tackling. Essentially, the guy has to have contact on every single play rather than wearing a green jersey and not having contact really for days. So that's the biggest part of it, and just the ability that I'm using my pads in a lot of different ways. So I think it really, for him, you got to find ways that he did things offensively that kind of correlate into things he's doing defensively. So luckily, he was a guy that carried the ball a lot. So as he's correlating some of those things into now tackling the guy that's carrying the ball, that's helped him quite a bit.
We're seeing the mix with the other linebackers.
He's the number one Mike linebacker for us right now, doing a great job there running with the ones, and it's certainly his job right now to lose.
How are his instincts at the position?
Good. It's a function of now I'm on the reactive end of things. I'm not the guy dictating the tempo. I'm still reading things as a linebacker naturally, but it's a lot different for him. Now a guy motions, he has to adjust to it. Prior to that, he's dictating the motion and seeing how people adjust to it. So he's still learning all of those things, trying to get his eyes in the right spot all the time rather than at the beginning of the play.
In your career, not necessarily from quarterback, but have you dealt with a player moving from the offensive side to linebacker in your career, or coaching career, trying to develop someone differently?
I have. I can't think of a time where a quarterback came over to play middle linebacker, though. So this is certainly a first.
Are you fully, I know you say he's number one right now.
Yep.
Would it shock you if that first game of the season he's out there starting?
Would not shock me. No, I don't think it would shock any of the coaches on the defensive side.
How come?
Just because he's not making many mistakes. Naturally, he's still learning and he is making mistakes, but he learns from mistakes, so he's not making the same one over and over again. So, and that's a credit to him because he's studying a lot of film. Naturally, as we're adding things on offense and he's getting new formations, naturally as we're adding things on defense, and he's okay, I'm doing this on this and this on this. So he's not making the same mistake over and over again. He's certainly making mistakes, but he's still learning and he's not making the same mistake.
What do you remember about your reaction, maybe in the winter when you've heard from Coach Campbell or heard from Joel that he was interested? Obviously you see his body, but when you
right.
Is it exciting when you see that kind of guy maybe come to your side of the ball?
Absolutely. Number one, Joel's a great person. So you knew you were getting that at the linebacker position, which is obviously very important. Number two, he's one of our top football players on the team. So, and again, it's Coach Campbell's trying to get the best players on the field at the best spots for us to give us the best chance of winning. That's certainly what we're doing.
You mentioned that, obviously you have to learn how to tackle and, get the physical part of it.
Right.
Was that key this spring, really kind of discovering what you had in him in regard to that?
It is, and we're still working on those things every day because it's still a function of repetitive body control for him in a different position. So naturally, he's learning to use his hands. He's learning to defend the run. He's learning to defend the pass. He's got a blitz now at his position and rush the passer. So those are a lot of different things and a lot of different skill sets that he hadn't had to use, obviously, for quite some time. So he's still working on those things every day. And actually, he'll get better at those things every day as he continues to go.
First day of spring, we saw him lining up with Willie. How key has Willie been in kind of, maybe helping him kind of grow into the position?
Willie's done a great job of helping those guys communicate well together on the field. They get along together well off the field. And our entire linebacker group is like that. And all of our guys at that position work well together. whether they're in at the same time, whether they're off to the side watching the play, whether they're in the film room together. And another senior of ours, Jack Spreen, has been a real integral part of that too, of helping those guys, because Jack's really smart, knows what really every position is doing. So he's a lot like Josh Jollis was for us last year, and knowing what every single guy should do on the defense, and he's helping those guys out.
Essential.